Hi guys, thank you so much for being here, and I really do hope you're doing well. Today I want to talk to you about something that I find quite strange and quite perplexing, because I quite like the subject, but then I also really dislike the subject at the same time. And that's gadgets, like wilderness gadgets. And there's like two Venn diagrams. There's the Venn diagram of enjoying nature and the Venn diagram of kind of engineering, and where they meet sometimes is a beautiful thing and sometimes is a really terrible thing. Let me give you some examples. The ferrocerium rod, wonderful. I think it's a great invention. It speeds things up. Great time. It's actually fun to use. It's not overcomplicated. There's not any sort of movable breaking parts really. Yes, you can break it, but you could probably still use it even if you broke it in half. You can't, you dip it in water, it's still going to work. It could probably save your life. On the list of inventions for outdoorsness, that is pretty good up there. Then we have things like the fire thermal charger. Now, if you go on the internet, I'm sure you'll see many sort of rip-off copies on the internet, and who I don't even know who does the actual version. But it's essentially like a container that you put your fire in, and you have your fire in this container, and they use some kind of thermo plate in there that converts the heat energy into a slow trickle of electricity. And that electricity you can plug into your phone to charge your phone and things like that. For me, that's just a massive feat of over-engineering. Firstly, it means that you have to have your fire in this pre-designated sized thing, which I know, yes, I have a bush box. I have to have my fire in a pre-designated sized thing. But the size of these things are tiny. Not only are they tiny, but they're bulky as well. My bush box packs down to the size of my hand, two size of both hands, but the thickness of less than my hand perhaps. But the charger thing, it's that size, and it stays that size. So you put it in your pack, you're pretty much bulking out your pack. But that's not even the major issue with it that I have. The major issue is that you're taking out technology into the wild. Yes, I am aware that there is some kind of contradiction here, because I'm using technology, well, at least technological, electronical equipment. We'll call it electronical equipment because technology can be fire. Fire itself, man-made fire, is a technology. It's something that we've fabricated. I'm talking about electronic equipment here. I don't want to be taking unnecessary electronics out with me. The camera that I'm talking to right now, the microphone I'm wearing, they're necessary electronics in order for me to have the enjoyment of sharing things that I like to talk about with you guys. So it's a necessary evil, if you will. I won't even call it an evil. It's just something that's necessary for the process. The fact that you take your phone with you, I take my phone out with me when I need to take my phone out with me. It's great to be sort of a survival aid, but I don't take it out there and leave it on. I'll take it out with me and turn it off in case I need it. I want that battery to be there. I don't want to be sitting there cooking my food and charging my phone at the same time. Yes, I'm sure some people love that, but I don't need to be doing that at all. If I really was worried about that, I'd just buy an extra battery, and the batteries these days for phones are minuscule and thin. Just pack one of those in your backpack. That's going to take up a lot less space than these massively over-engineered things. Yet people, because they know that I'm into outdoors, they'll send me links to things like this constantly. The other one that I was quite perplexed with was like essentially an axe head that sort of popped out of a sheet of metal or something akin to this, that you then put on a shaft of wood and try to use. But the more I looked at it, the more I realised the impracticality of what was actually being proposed. It's not like a regular, the shaft of a traditional axe is of course separate from the wood, but they are perfectly matched together. They work very well. It's refined. What was being proposed here was some kind of hitching system onto it. There's no way. I kid you not. If I can find it again, I will put the picture up right now on the screen. I personally don't think there's any way that that's got any practical use. Yet it was being pushed out as a survival item. And there are lots of these things that are, if you search eBay or any of the Alibaba or any of the other kind of mass market cheap Chinese reproduction type things. If you search those sites, you will find tons of unnecessary survival gadgets. Survival gadgets, bearing in mind, not enjoying the outdoors camping gadgets. You know, that little fire, if you go out once or twice a year with your family, you want your technology, you want to keep your kids happy because you want to entertain them with a tablet computer or something like that. Yeah, great. Take it out, enjoy it, make a cup of tea on it, and charge up your iPad so that the kids can play Angry Birds or whatever they play these days. That's fine. But don't put it as a survival item. This is what they're being marketed as, survival items. If you get one of those axe heads and you put it as survival kit, you're probably not going to be surviving on it. And the other things that I see, there's a knife, a credit card knife. Someone actually got one of these for me for my birthday present once. It is a letter opener now because it's 2 bits of plastic that fold over on a knife blade. It's no good to anyone. You know, if you don't know about why knives are good, if you don't understand why a knife is potentially not only a life-saving item, but just an item that you use all the time out in the woodlands, which a lot of people don't. If you're not into the outdoors, if you're not into bushcraft, you don't really know and understand that a knife is an extension of yourself when you're out in the woodlands. If you don't understand that, yeah, then you might think this little foldy bit of thing is great because it's taking up no space, but it's just, if it's not any good, if it's useless, it's taking up more space than it needs to. There are lots of these kinds of gadgets. I get angry about quite a few of them, and I like my gadgets, don't get me wrong, I love my gadgets. The Backhoe Laplander, I've had people call that a gadget. I think that is a gadget, but it's a great gadget. A folding saw, it's got all the bells and whistles on it. That's where those two Venn diagrams that meet, the engineering and the outdoorsman's type enterprise, when that meets and it's perfect and it's good, it's beautiful. And when it meets and it's terrible, it's nonsensical. So I want you to tell me, what bushcraft things, survival things, prepping things have you bought that are still just like thrown in a drawer at the back of a cupboard somewhere because you bought it, it claimed to be XYZ, and you took it out into the field and you just went, bah, this is terrible. What things have you seen? You don't even have to own them. What things have you seen and just gone, that is just not a good thing, that's a terrible thing, but it's being marketed? I want to know about it. Put them in the comment section down there and we can all enjoy and laugh at these things. And hopefully, if we let people know about them, people won't go and spend a ridiculous amount of money on things that just, hey, don't work and we don't want, okay? And that'll push the market, hopefully. Capitalism should push the market to the things that do work. Let me know your thoughts, and until the next video, as always, take care. Bye-bye now. If you like this video, good news, I'm going to be making more. What I would ask of you is to please subscribe. It would mean the world to me. Also, check out some of my recent videos here. Remember to get involved in the comment section where some great discussions happen. And finally, this is the most important thing, if you think you know someone that would like this, tell them. Your friend, your dad, your cat, just tell them.